Hi and welcome back to D&D Reviews. I'm the daughter.
And I'm the dad.
And grab some popcorn because today we are talking about him.
Let's play a little catch. We going to the league! You want to play at your highest level? You want to be a legend? Get it! Because let me tell you something. This ain't a game. Who are they? Just gonna toss the ball around a little. You wanna hit this? You can't handle it. I understand. Oh, too slow. Wait, what are we doing? That man's smile about to be on the floor. This is how you do your teammate? What is this? Set hard!
Equal loves, enemies, set hard! Set hard!
In this game, violence is rewarded, so learn to enjoy it.
Get your shit together! Activate my hip.
Cam, are you okay?
I think something's off.
You want to know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, we playing some football!
Don't have to do this.
Activate my hip.
I've never been more certain of anything in my life. And how bad does Cameron Cade want it?
I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
I'm not just gonna give it to you. You got to take it from
I
me.
ain't a killer, but don't push me.
What if I say no? Run. Think of it as a gift from the God.
Killer, but don't push me. So what are you willing to sacrifice?
Which is the new 2025 horror movie that we saw a couple of days ago. So go watch it, come back, because we're going to be spoiling. How did you enjoy?
Did I enjoy it? That's the thing. I'm really not certain. This is a brutal, bloody, strange film. But there's lots of things to like about this. And lots of things to scratch your head about. I don't know whether it's cinematography, but you know, there's several shots in this where it's an X-ray sort of effect. Is that cinematography? Is that what we would call cinematography?
That's shots.
Really strange sort of shot, but it gave this film something. I think it's a film a lot of people are going to hate. I really do.
I think what it is, so, I mean, for us behind this, we've seen the trailer a few times, and I remember enjoying it, but I remember feeling very conflicted because obviously we're British, we're from England, and this is a very, we as we said, after we'd seen it, it was very kind of Americanized because of the sport element. American football over there is different. Soccer is our football, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's one of those
girls'
things.
Game. Yeah.
American football, but as soon as I had seen the trailer for the first time, I turned to you and I said, very interesting, would like to see, but it feels like it's going to be a kind of symbolism message about how concussions happen so much. Like, it's a trippy movie, but it's from the point of view of how the fact that all those players get so concussed.
God, it's trippy.
And we did even say, like episodes of Law and Order or in real life cases where people later on down, years later, quarterbacks who used to play for those teams commit crimes, or they kill themselves,
brutal
or
murders,
whatever it is, but they can't be found guilty, or the reason is because of how many concussions they sustained. And I remember being like, I feel like that this movie is kind of trying to say that by having all these trippy elements.
The NFL implemented new concussion protocol ahead of today's games. CBS's Danya Backus explains why.
The NFL is kicking off its modified concussion protocol, adding ataxia to its list of mandatory no-go symptoms.
Ataxia is a problem with balance and coordination. This list is evolving as we are learning more and more about how to protect players.
The NFL and Players Union updated the protocol after reviewing the response to Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's injury 2 weeks ago. when he banged his head on the field and was unable to walk.
That's not a good sign.
Team doctors took him through the NFL concussion protocol and allowed him back on the field.
To a rolling left.
Days later, another hit caused his head to slam against the turf and his hands to freeze up. A different type of neurological trauma called a fencing response.
Can you explain to us what a fencing response is?
It's an impact response related to impact seizures. It can be very severe.
We will continue to see, of course, hard hits in the NFL. Do you think now with new protocols that we're going to start to see a more conservative diagnosis for concussions?
So I hope we see fewer and fewer concussions moving forward, whether they're primary or secondary. That is definitely a priority, and I certainly hope that's the case.
And I think my biggest issue with, well, you know what, we're just going to go straight into it. Obviously, we're spoiling. My biggest issue is the fact that it's kind of not that. The ending of this kind of reveals that they've been drugging him, and he's been seeing stuff, but it wasn't just his brain making up these things. It was kind of like there were things happening, physically happening, because of this whole,
I felt
organization. So that was kind of my main issue.
I didn't feel it was a cult. I felt it was witchcraft. I really do feel it was witchcraft. And I thought it was really interesting because the young guy played Tyriq
Withers, Cameron Cade,
who plays Cameron Cade, who's the young up-and-coming potential quarterback, suffers the injury because of an attack where he gets bashed on the head. Yeah. And he was going to be number one draft pick, and he was going to make all his money, and he was going to help his family. And he loses that opportunity because of this injury that he suffers. And he gets to go for a week's training camp with Isaiah White, played by
Marlon Wayans,
who is fantastic.
Marlon Wayans is incredible.
He's great.
Even one of my notes, Marlon Wayans, amazing
he
as
is
that.
amazing,
I said it to you so many times that he is so good.
Because he's like this comic actor, and so he's so damn serious.
He is from that background.
Yeah.
And I even said this to you, which I just said before we started, that it reminds me a bit of Chris Rock in Saw or Spiral 9, which is, all in all, the Saw series is amazing, but it's all in all kind of a serious series, the Saw franchises. And then he came in with that installment, which he actually produced, and he did a lot of the improvisation of his lines, but a lot of it is funny, and it's kind of like a weird direction to go in. For an actor of comedic stance to go into a really serious horror franchise that's really gory and not funny, but Marlon Wayans does it. No offense to Chris Rock,
it's serious.
But Marlon Wayans does it
this film is
so much better.
Really serious. There doesn't seem to be a lot of comedy in there or anything like that.
You pull a gun on your old man? You out of your f***ing mind? I could have killed you.
What are you talking about? I got the gun.
I could have killed you.
How'd you get in here?
You forget who the landlord is?
Yeah, but that doesn't give you the right to just walk in here anytime you want. Renters got rights.
You start paying some rent, you can get some rights. I heard about Boz. You all right?
Nah, Dad, I'm f***ed up.
Sorry to hear that. I know how close you were. Jigsaw copycat. That could be difficult.
So it's just a weird,
but
it works. He works.
There's a point in it. So he goes off to meet this legend, this Isaiah White, who must be 40 years old, and he's still playing a quarterback, and he's still the man, the deity, the god, the goat. The representative of this franchise, the face of this franchise, what they keep saying, if you're going to be the face of this franchise, and he is that man, but he's getting old, so he goes to have the week's camp with him, and the first thing, or practically the first thing, that Isaiah White, call me Isaiah, says to Cameron Cade is about the history of the game, that young Indians, young as in Native Americans, who were playing this game, who were all quite small, were getting smashed when they were playing these big corn-fed mules of white guys from Harvard, as they call them, Harvard sort of guys. And they started playing the game slightly differently, and people were getting killed. And so they altered the game to suit them. So it became a more, instead of just being a game where people brutalised each other, they put a dab more skill into it. Now, when you mentioned those Indians, right at the end, the people who Cameron Cave meets, who are the owners of the club and everything, they're all kind of dressed as Native American shaman almost. They're wearing like buffalo robes and whatever. It's like really, really weird. It's really, really odd. And you can't help but, I couldn't help but feel that Isaiah White's wife, which is a really weird, strange woman, is like a high priestess.
Yeah, you had said, I agree.
I felt that she was like a high priestess of this almost a religion, almost a religious aspect to what these people were doing.
Yeah.
But they were wearing those buffalo masks. It was really odd. But isn't this, what's that, Jordan Peele, the guy who produced it?
Yeah,
who's but he's made really, his films are odd. His films are
we saw Us when it came out.
Yeah.
I've seen Get Out, but then I haven't seen Note, but you've seen Note, but not Get Out, I think.
Yeah, and Note was
but they're very
really brutal and odd in its way.
It's funny, people love Nope, they're like best movie of the kind of thing, but you were like, But it's like the same with Oppenheimer for you. Everybody loves it, and you're there. Like, I didn't see it because obviously I was away that summer working, so I could only see one movie that weekend, and I saw Barbie because they came out the same day. But you saw it and you're like, yeah, it's fine. And then the Oscars, best 12 Oscars kind of thing.
It ran away with everything.
It must be how people who didn't like Titanic when that came out, and then all of a sudden it's like Titanic's won 12, all these awards, and people are like, really?
And the Oscar goes to Titanic.
This is James Cameron's third Academy Award of the evening, and the first for John Landau.
But anyway, it's John Peel movie, and it's John Peel produced movie.
But he does weird things.
Under Monkey Ball Productions is his production company, but it's kind of a little bit of a surreal thing. It's actually funny production-wise in this. I was looking a bit into it, and I'd mentioned to you that the original script for this is a lot more like grounded.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of these elements of. I think what it is a lot more of what I thought, which is that he may be seeing stuff, but it's due to his injury. It's not because this whole
very bad bash on the head.
They're like injecting him with blood and stuff. Like that wasn't. And it was actually called Goat, which they say a lot in this.
They do, yeah.
Great all the time. But it's a lot more grounded, and I don't know. I guess it got changed.
This was kind of out there because also at the end, there's so much symbolism in it. And it was like at the end when they wanted to sign the contract, and he doesn't. He kills everybody, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Admittedly, the high priestess lady stands up, and this is what makes me think that she's a permanent fixture. She's good because she stands up and says, "I'll do it like for this franchise because I have to do everything." So, she was in charge.
Yeah.
So it turns out she was in charge, and those 3 jets went over. And they're spewing the red, white, and blue smoke. But what? Because I'm English and I follow soccer or football as we call it. We in our games we appreciate you're allowed to draw. You can have an honourable draw. And Americans, not going to go at Americans here, not going to go at all. Saying that.
There has to be one.
There has to be a winner. There has to be a winner.
Yeah.
And it means you can play as hard as you like. You can come so close and play so brilliantly. And one person can make a mistake and give away a score. And that's it. You've lost. There's, that's it. You're forgotten. Your team and who you are forgotten. You did not win the Super Bowl. You did not win the World Series. Mm-hmm. You did not win the NBA championship. You're forgotten. And that's a very American thing to me. But this film was all about that.
Yeah.
It's all about winning.
It is.
All about winning. I found it really hard.
I mean, the whole message of how to be the greatest of all time, it is actually discussed between the characters, obviously Marlon Wayans and Tyriq Withers. How can I be the greatest of all time? And it's...
Him is a horror movie set in the world of sports.
Cameron King. What gets you on the field?
Definitely my family.
That's only gonna take you but so far.
Cam is the up-and-coming athlete. Just thinking about how proud his dad would be to hear that Isaiah White believes in his talent.
Say, Isaiah, I'm coming! Isaiah, I'm coming! You next? My time!
Isaiah is trying to teach Cam you need to make these sacrifices to be the GOAT.
It's a very innocent coach relationship at first.
Breathe. Slow your heart rate. Help is on the way.
But it starts to take a scary turn. The idol becomes the rival.
So you think this is a game?
What is this?
There's a price for greatness. If you want to be the GOAT, you have to take it from me.
Cameron's not going to back down from any competition, but this is something that he's never seen before.
Isaiah, he still wants that applause. Fans, them chanting my name. You ain't nothing but a casualty of war, man.
Never meet your idols, but if you do, tread lightly.
I think someone else had put this out. It wasn't me, and I think I did discuss it with you. That a lot of people think that this movie is trying to say something about fan worship and how much fans idolize. They not just sports people, but they obviously everybody gets idolized. I mean, like people get like John Lennon. You know, it's like fans will literally kill celebrities.
They are unsafe. They're loonies.
You know, Selena. She died from getting shot from a fan, I believe. But obviously,
Selena.
Is it Selena?
Selena.
Selena died in the 90s. Got shot by the member of her fan club.
Oh yeah.
Is that right?
I think I know the girl you're on about.
Yeah.
Signing. Anyway, we're getting off the subject.
Which side note, J-Lo, that's how she got her start. Is she played her in the movie Selena?
Yeah.
That was her first ever movie.
This is 6 News at 6 with today's top story.
One of the biggest stars in Tejano music, Corpus Christi's Selena, is dead.
The woman suspected of shooting Selena is still holding police at bay. You're looking at a live picture right now coming to you from navigation where the standoff continues. She has a gun and has it pointed at her head. It's our top story tonight, Friday, March 31st, 1995.
Anyway, my point is that, a fan idolization of sports players, people who threaten football players because they missed a goal, you know, kind of thing, or like, I'm going to kill your family because you didn't get that shot, kind of thing. And that is a lot of what people think that this movie is trying to have a discussion about, because obviously the way that, you know, Tyriq Withers says to him, how can I be the greatest of all time? How can I be like you? But it's like, well, why do you want to? Do you want to do it because you want to be the greatest of all time, or do you want to do it because you're worried no one's going to want to be your fan, no one's going to want you to play? Because after all, really, if a lot of people, the fans, are like petitioning for a player to not be there, it doesn't really matter if they play well. It's a kind of about marketing now.
Yeah,
you know,
they're out, baby.
Whatever, the managers are going to be like, well, look, we've got all these people rioting because like, they just don't like you as a person.
Sales of t-shirts are down.
So we're going to have to try and just bench you. Maybe people forget about it. So someone else will do something.
We'll
kind
bring
of thing.
you back down the line. Yeah.
So it's kind of, I feel like Tyriq Withers. I think a little bit of why he wants to do it is because his dad. His dad was also an American football player. That's all he did with him.
Yeah.
And two is just because he's worried he won't be able to play if the fans aren't. You know, you got to play the crowd kind of thing. Kind of like, and that's how a lot of people, like not just sports players, but a lot of, like, you know, Elvis Presley, he worked the crowd in that sense. So that's why he became really big.
There.
Even if his singing was really bad, which isn't. I really like Elvis. But, you know, it could have been bad, but because they were all like,
it's about the presentation of yourself,
Yeah, that whole fanization I do think is really interesting, but I don't think it's really touched on like enough. I think the thing is there's so many different civilizations into this that aren't touched on enough, and I would love if they just went in one direction with it. Because there are a lot of different... Someone even said that they believe the movie is trying to say something about black players
I
in the
believe that.
community.
I believe there's a racist, not racist, but a racial
element of it. Because obviously, yeah, you've got...
Because Isaiah White says at one point, to quarterbacks were always white in the game, and then Michael Vick came along, and he was a really great quarterback, but then he got sent to prison for having a dogfighting pit in his house and everything. But he says but Isaiah White's character, or Isaiah White, the character, says to be, I had to be great to be normal as a quarterback within this game. So to be the greatest of all time and be black, how difficult was that?
Yeah. There's even actually in Get Out, Jordan Peele, the other movie he made, which obviously this isn't his movie.
But it's all along
But
those
there's
lines,
even a line mentioning, because the whole thing with that was the fact that in short, the fact that a black man is the main character, and he gets invited to he's in an interracial relationship, and he gets invited for the weekend to his white girlfriend's family's house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it's kind of crazy.
That was his first film, wasn't it?
That's his first film. What they do is that they auction off these people to white, wealthy people, and then put their brain inside the black body. It's actually a good movie, but...
Good to see another brother around here.
Yes, of course it is. Something wrong?
There you are. Do something with this.
Yes.
Oh, hello. I'm Philomena, and you are...
Chris, Rose's boyfriend.
Fantastic. You two make a lovely couple.
Thanks.
Where are my manners? Logan King. Chris was just telling me how he felt much more comfortable with my being here.
He had mentioned that, so her dad, his girlfriend's
white dad,
had said that his father lost to Jesse Owens, I think, running back in the day.
At the 36 Olympics.
And that his dad, and they said something along the lines of, like, the first black man to, but, like, kind of how can you lose against him, running,
but he won 4 gold medals for
there's, like, a
America,
racial element to that, but it's like, in reality, this is just another runner. This is just another sports person. You shouldn't have to say the thing of, like...
It should all be down to ability,
about the race thing. It shouldn't really even be a factor into it, because the whole thing was that he was like, his dad was so annoyed he lost to a black guy kind of thing, which shouldn't really be that element, because obviously it's just sport, it's not like...
Yeah, it is about
should have a,
who comes in front, isn't it?
But yeah, in this, a lot of people were... Well, actually not as many were talking about the racial thing. But
definitely, I thought there was... When I was watching
it's just because there is a lot of other symbolism. But I just kind of feel like there's too many. It was one too many.
It does. You do get a bit lost inside it.
There's the whole, concussions do this thing, and then there's the racial thing, and then it's just the demons,
the drugs.
There's so many different elements to this, and it's kind of crazy.
Because he's doing things. Because there's a point where he's Isaiah White's got his own personal doctor or whatever he is. And he's taking blood out of him, and he's going, oh, this is the thing to do, and then when I need a boost, I have this oxygenated blood put back in me, and it gives me a little kick on, and he's like, do you want to try it? And he's like, well, is it even legal within the game? Taking loads of tablets, all these sort of...
sorry, if you...
Well, I was just all these things that they do.
Even something I saw straight from the trailer is that I felt that this was going to be a little bit religion based. Even we actually have the shot over there of the poster, which we're staring at right now, which is for me, I had said it feels like Jesus on the cross.
Yeah.
And there's even the whole thing of like he's feeding his own blood. You know how it's like you drink my blood, you eat my bread, kind of thing.
Yes, which is exactly what taking Holy Communion is.
So it feels kind of like
body of Christ,
a religion
blood of
thing.
Christ,
But then even in the end, it's like, well, it's a Satan thing. So maybe it's like oh, Cameron Cade is Jesus versus the Satanists in the movie, because obviously he's like kind of doing the pose like Jesus.
But is he? Is he? I'm not
So-
saying, because it's like he chooses to be evil. At the end, he kills all those guys. All through the film, people say to him, who are there, especially Marley, the doctor, who's a little bit of an outsider, they all say to him, don't do this if you're not ready, don't do this. And Marley, the doctor, leans forward at the end of one of the, when they have a party, and just leans and whispers in his ear and goes, run. Like, get away from this. But he doesn't, because he has to do it. And when he's talking to Isaiah White, and he's going, and he's kind of, Isaiah's like, why do you want to be in this? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to be the number trapping and everything? So I can look after my family and everything. And Isaiah White's always like, fuck your family. Fuck everybody. It's all about the winning and the losing. It's all about you. And you've got to betray everybody. Because it's like, at one point there's a party, and White's not there. And when Cameron comes round from being really drunk, he's holding a gun by his side. And he goes, did you fuck him? Meaning his wife. And he doesn't really know. And he goes, I've got a girlfriend. I'm really happy with that. I want to have kids and everything. And he's going like, if you can't betray your girlfriend, then what are you doing? Yeah. You're not harsh enough. You're not.
Yeah, if you're not going to be able to do that, you're not going to be able to physically harm anyone, kind of thing. But that's what we were. Sorry if you were going to.
Well, I was going to link that up to. They bring in, because they've got this little half a pitch, if you like, where they're throwing the footballs, and he's throwing the footballs, and they've got some free agents, and they don't even introduce them. He just goes, who are these guys? And so some free agents. Oh, these guys don't matter. And there's a collision, which again is done in this X-ray thing, where one of these guys is rushing towards Cameron Cade. And even though he's got this fracture on his skull, and it's all stapled closed and everything, puts his helmet down, and they go, helmet, and you saw the guy, like, it looks like blood pours out over his face, and he's lying on the floor, kind of having almost like a fit. And they don't rush up to this guy who's on the floor and start looking after him. Isaiah comes up and basically says, I'm really proud of you for taking that massive hit, for laying this guy out. And they start praying, right? And they're like, this guy's on the floor dying. He's dying on the floor. And it's like, who gives a fuck about these people? They do not matter. When he's punishing Cameron, he's giving him 2 seconds to get a ball away, and they're firing a football into a guy's face out of a machine really fast, like boom, and it's hitting him, and he just keeps taking it over and again, knocks a tooth out, breaks his nose, he's cut to pieces, and he just keeps taking it, and then he laughs, and I was like, what are you laughing at? It's like, Jesus, I'm here for you, and they don't give a shit about these people. They don't give a shit whether they live or die. They're nothing to Isaiah, and it ends up, to me, that Cameron Cade ends up in that same place. He don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about them. They're just what do they call it? Damage. When somebody gets killed, they're like,
I know, I can't think of the phrase.
I can't think of the phrase, but it's like they don't matter. They're just incidental.
Yeah.
They haven't got careers. They're hoping they might get an opportunity, because that's what the guy who's been smashed to bits goes, thanks for the opportunity. It's like, what, to be smashed to bits like that? It's quite horrible.
Well, I mean, even the lines that the line that we love. Well, I love it. It's how much are you willing to sacrifice? So it's kind of like everything. Yeah. And all these people are like, I'm willing to sacrifice anything just to meet you, kind of thing.
Yes.
Just to play with you, just to do whatever.
Because all the crazy people who came around outside his house.
So, yeah, I feel like there's something to that. Again, that goes into the whole fan idolization thing of being like, I'll sacrifice whatever to to shake your hand.
When they turn in, when Cameron Cade's in the back of the escalator or whatever, is turning into this place that Isaiah White's got out in the desert somewhere. there's all those crazy fans out there, and they're saying like they never really go away, and they kind of go. And there's a sign up that says deity, like God, which they've put there. I couldn't live with having all these nut jobs hanging around outside my house, and you can never go anywhere. You can't nip down the shops for a jar of jam and a pack of razor blades, or nip down a pub for a drink with your mates, because all these nutcases are hanging around outside. But I don't know, one thing I was interested in that never really... I thought this was going to be something in the film. It was going to get explained in some way to me. He must say it half a dozen times. As I watch, there'll be a little bit of conversation, or something will happen. And he goes, right, I'm going to go and watch some tape. How many times does he say that?
You know what? Yeah, okay. I had not seen or heard that line until it's going to sound so funny. Until the scene in the sauna when he leaves, and then that kind of like scary scene happens. I legit thought he said, until I was looking on Reddit and somebody was like, "Oh, that line," kind of thing. And I'm like, "Oh, that's what he said." I thought he said, "I'm going to go wash my taint," and I was like,
right, okay.
So he's so like forward, the character was anyway the whole movie. So I thought he was just outwardly saying like, "I'm going to go wash my taint," and then I was like, because I had not heard that line, but then afterwards I realised.
It's like he's going to go watch tape of games from the past. Like
well, he does.
But does he? Does he?
Well,
it
he does.
Really odd.
Well, later on, the last scene when he gets killed by Cameron Cade, he's watching old tapes on his ceiling.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
It's just the way he keeps doing it. I mean, and I don't know why. Because there are parties and there are things going on and what have you. And he just always walks away and goes, I'm going to go and watch some tape. But he doesn't go off with his wife or anything like that. I'm going to watch some tape. And I kept thinking, this is going to mean something. This is going to mean something at the end. But it never really becomes anything. It's like all Isaiah White does is play football. All he's interested in is football. And I really enjoyed the bit when they were in the sauna together. This is just before Cameron gets attacked.
Yeah.
When he says about what he'll miss from the game.
Yeah.
And that was quite touching.
I like that line as well. That little communication between them. Because I feel like a lot of the time...
It was honest. It felt honest.
A lot of the time, the scenes between the two, Cameron and Isaiah, when they're with other people, it feels like Isaiah has a mask on. And he's kind of like, he has to be tough. He has got to be like, I'm the boss right here.
Yeah.
But he kind of opens up a lot more when it's just
when
it's those two
yourself.
on their own.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of an interesting shade to his character because, he obviously likes what he does. I mean,
he loves the game.
I find it interesting because obviously, Isaiah White at the beginning of the movie gets injured in the game that Cameron Cade was
watching as a child
with his dad. And then Cameron Cade later on gets injured. I know the whole thing of American football is that everybody gets hurt, but it's interesting that it's interesting to think that if you worked in like any other job and you got like, imagine you worked as
it was that dangerous.
The teachers, like a teacher who got in a school shooting and survived. They don't then go back to maybe not, maybe they do, but it's one of those like, it was traumatic. I got hurt and like physically injured, and like obviously now I'm not going to do that. But when it's sport, it's kind of like, well, you just get up and shake it off kind of thing. So it's weird that, these guys are considering these jobs kind of over their own life.
Work through it.
Kind of thing.
You just work through
it. It's like
because Marley says about him getting that
you could die. It's like you could die next time. And they're like, well, next time you might be kind of... I think there was like, not a movie, but I remember something about like boxing. I think boxing is because it's more dangerous. Boxing, UFC or something, where... I can't remember the movie, but me and Grace watched it, and it was like... you know what it was? It was bull riding, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah,
they fight and thing.
The rodeo.
It was it's a Nicholas Sparks movie that we saw, which is a romantic movie.
When they get thrown off the ball, they get trampled on.
The main character met this guy who was like a cowboy and then throughout the movie, he kept getting hurt, and then the doctor says to her, like, look, next time you pick him up, you might be picking him up from the morgue.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that's all I know, this is like all I can do. She's like, I'm not going to be with someone who I might never see them again, kind of thing.
Do you think it could work between us? We just come from such different worlds.
Luke, you need to stop, or next time you're more likely going to pick him up at the morgue.
This is my life. It's all I know. How can I help?
I can't be with someone if every time they walk out the door, I don't know if I'm going to see them again. Promise me you'll come back.
I promise.
Yeah, I need to life beyond all
But it's
this.
like some people, you know, for those jobs, they would rather die than not do that job. So they're like, well, I could die, but I'm going to die if I can't do this job. Is my long point of that whole thing.
Well, no, but I understand what you mean. It's like I never understand why people do, you know, when people do that long, that deep endurance free diving, as they call it, where they just dive. Because you go down for like 5 minutes and then you've got to come up again. So you go down until you drown.
Oh, yeah, you know what, yeah.
And then you've got to come up again. And people die doing this all the time.
People say that about cave. People say, a regular man who has 4 kids and a wife who's pregnant on the way, and it just cuts to someone going inside a really tiny cave.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Where people have died
loads of people,
before,
loads of people do that, like, for no reason. Because that's not even a job, really.
No, but people do it because they can do it, which is so weird.
Anyway, just some points I had on my thing was that I think it wraps up too quickly. Back to this movie. Wraps up too quick. I think that when he wakes up from the... after being at the party, and then it's like, this is the end of the movie kind of thing. It's like, wow, that really went nowhere.
Yeah.
Marlon Wayans, amazing. Acting is pretty good.
I thought the acting was pretty damn solid, yeah.
But Marlon Wayans like a standout.
Yeah. He is the film.
Just so rushed. Like, I think that by the end.
It was a short film, but it seemed long, you know.
The script is the issue. Out of everything, I think the script is kind of probably the issue.
But there are lines in it that we keep shouting at each other.
Get your shit together.
Get your head in the game.
And then, what are you willing to sacrifice?
Everything.
Amazing shots. Love the Jesus shot. Pretty scary in some parts.
Yeah.
And I like the compound as a setting.
It made me feel shaky. But I'm not sure it's a horror film.
But yeah, that's
fine. But on Rotten Tomatoes, I don't think this is going to be a major...
Okay, what do you think it's going to get?
I think on Rotten Tomatoes, it's going to be 65 on critics. I think it'd be like 32.
No, the opposite. 58 on critic, 31 on... Oh, no, 31 on critic, 58 on audience.
Right, okay, I'm smart. I
Yeah.
thought the critics would have been more for it.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Bye.